Is Brother Ben here? Brother Ben. Now, Ben got a heck of a program. A lot of people listening to Brother Ben. And Ben tells them about the minister. And Ben tells them about the minister.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. I would like to greet you all with the greeting words of peace we said in the Arabic language of Assalamu Alaikum, Ramadan Mubarak. We on part number 12. For those who don't know, Assalamu Alaikum simply means peace be unto you. And if you see anybody say, Wa Alaikum Salam, that just simply means that they are returning that greeting of peace be unto me. You see the word Ramadan Mubarak, that is someone saying that they are wishing someone a blessed Ramadan. And when you see them return it, it's Ramadan Kareem. They are returning the greeting of wishing them a blessed Ramadan. We are on page 455. If you have the Quran and you got the Maulana Muhammad Ali version, we on page 455. And in particular, we are on chapter 11, verse 6, or Surah 11, ayat number 6. That's where we're starting off. We're on part 12. Now, if you want to be a reader, go ahead and press number 1 so I can put this cue together. I see Sister Gina. Hold on, let me get my cue together here.
As Chogo struggled.
Oh man. All right, here we go. Gina.
Is helping the rich exploit the poor. And he's
All right, y'all. I'm just writing down all the readers right now that said they wanted to read. I wonder if... Okay, cool. All right, we ready. Let me see if any... Okay, so low today. All right, part 12. And there is no animal in the earth, but on Allah is the sustenance of it. And he knows its resting place and its depository. All is in a clear record. And he it is who created the heavens and the earth in 6 periods. And his throne of power is ever water, that he might manifest the good qualities in you. Whoever of you is best in deeds. And if thou sayest, you shall surely be raised up after death, those who disbelieve say, this is nothing but clear deceit. And if we delay for them the chastisement for a stated period, they will certainly say, what prevents it? What prevents it? Now surely on the day when it will come to them, it would not be averted from them, and that which they scoffed at will beset them. Section 2, Truth of Revelation. And if we make man taste mercy from us, then withdraw from him, he is surely despairing, ungrateful. And if we make him taste the favor after distress has afflicted him, he says, the evils are gone away from me. Certainly he is exalted, boastful, except those who are patient and do good. For them is forgiveness and a great reward. Then may it be that thou wilt give up part of what is revealed to thee, and thy breast will be straitened by it, because they say, why has not a treasure been sent down for him, or an angel come with him? Thou art a warner, and Allah is in charge of all things. Or say they, he has forged it. Say, Then bring 10 forged chapters like it, and call up whom you can besides Allah, if you are truthful. But if they answer you not, then know that it is revealed by Allah's knowledge, and that there is no God but He. Will you then submit? Whoever desires this world life and its finery, we repay them their deeds therein, and they are not made to suffer loss in it. These are they for whom there is nothing but fire in the hereafter, and what they work therein is fruitless, and their deeds are vain. Is he then like these who has with him clear proof from his Lord, and a witness from him recites it, and before it is the book of Moses, a guide and a mercy? These believe in it, and whoever of the parties disbelieve in it, the fire is his promised place. So be not in doubt about it. Surely it is the truth from thy Lord, but most men believe not. And who is more unjust than he who forges a lie against Allah? These will be brought before their Lord, and the witness will say, these are they who lied against their Lord. Now surely the curse of Allah is on the wrongdoers, who hinder men from the path of Allah and desire to make it crooked, and they are disbelievers in the hereafter. These will not escape in the earth, nor have they guardians besides Allah. The chastisement will be double for them. They could not bear to hear, and they did not see. These are they who have lost their souls, and that which they forged is gone from them. Truly in the hereafter they are the greatest losers. Surely those who believe and do good and humble themselves before their Lord, these are the owners of the garden. Therein they will abide. The likeness of the two parties is as the blind and the deaf, and the seer and the hearer. Are they equal in condition? Will you not then mind? Section 3, History of Noah. And certainly we sent Noah to his people. Surely I am a plain warner to you, to serve none but Allah. Verily I fear for you the chastisement of a painful day. But the chiefs of his people who disbelieved said, we see thee not but a mortal like us, and we see not that any follow thee, but those who are the meanest of us at first thought, nor do we see you in any superiority over us. Nay, we deem you liars. He said, oh, my people, see you if I have with me clear proof from my Lord, and he has granted me mercy from himself, and it has been made obscure to you. Can we compel you to accept it while you are averse to it? And oh, my people, I ask you not for wealth in return for it. My reward is only with Allah, and I'm not going to drive away those who believe. Surely they will meet their Lord, but I see you a people who are ignorant. And oh, my people, who will help me against Allah if I drive them away? Will you not then mind? And I say, not to you that I have the treasures of Allah, and I know not the unseen, nor do I say that I am an angel, nor do I say about those whom your eyes scorn that Allah would not grant them any good. Allah knows best what is in their souls. For then indeed I should be of the wrongdoers. They said, oh, Noah, indeed thou hast disputed with us, and prolonged dispute with us. So bring upon us that which thou threatened us with, if thou art truthful. He said, oh, Allah will bring it on you if he please, and you will not escape. And my advice would not profit you. If I intend to give you good advice, if Allah intends to destroy you, he is your Lord, and to him you will be brought back. Or say he has forged it. Say, if I have forged it, on me is my guilt, and I am free of that of which you are guilty. Let's go to Sister Gina.
Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Kareem.
Section 4, History of Noah. And it was revealed to Noah, none of thy people will believe except those who have already believed. So grieve not at what they do. And make the ark under our eyes in our revelation, and speak not to me on behalf of those who are unjust. Surely they will be drowned. And he began to make the ark. And whenever the chiefs of his people passed by him, they laughed at him. He said, if you laugh at us, surely we too laugh at you as you laugh at us. So you shall know who it is on whom will come a chastisement, which will disgrace him, and on whom a lasting chastisement will fall. At length, when our command came and water gushed forth from the valley, we said, carry in it two of all things, a pair, and thine own family, except those against whom the word has already gone forth, and those who believe, and there believed not with him but a few. And he said, embark in it, in the name of Allah, be its sailing and its anchoring. Surely my Lord is forgiving, merciful. And it moved, excuse me, and it moved on with them amid waves like mountains. And Noah called out to his son, and he was aloof. O my son, embark with us and be not with the disbelievers. He said, I will betake myself for refuge to a mountain that will save me from the water. He said, there is none safe today from Allah's command, but he on whom he has mercy. And a wave intervened between them, so he was among the drowned. And it was said, O earth, swallow thy water, and O cloud, clear away. And the water was made to obey, and the affair was decided, and it rested on the Judai. And it was said, always with the iniquitous people. And Noah cried to his Lord and said, my Lord, surely my son is of my family, and thy promise is true, and thou art the justice of the judges. He said, O Noah, he is not of thy family. He is an embodiment of unrighteous conduct. So ask not of me that of which thou hast no knowledge. I admonish thee, lest thou be of the ignorant. He said, my Lord, I seek refuge in thee from asking of thee that of which I have no knowledge. And unless thou forgive me and have mercy on me, excuse me, I shall be of the losers. It was said, O Noah, descend with peace from us, and blessings on thee, and on nations springing from those with thee. And there are nations whom we afford provisions. Then a painful punishment from us afflicts them. These are announcements relating to the unseen, which we revealed to thee. Thou didst not know them, neither thou nor thy people before this. So be patient. Surely the good end is for the dutiful. Section 5, History of Hud. And to add, we sent their brother Hud. He said, O my people, serve Allah, you have no God save him. You are only fabricators. O my people, I ask of you no reward for it. My reward is only with him who created me. Do you not then understand? And O my people, ask forgiveness of your Lord. Then turn to him. He will send on you clouds pouring down abundance of rain, and add strength to your strength, and turn not back guilty. They said, O Hud, thou hast brought us no clear argument, and we are not going to desert our God for thy word, and we are not believers in thee. We said not but that some of our gods have smitten thee with evil. He said, surely I call Allah to witness, and do you too bear witness that I am innocent of what you associate with Allah? Besides him, besides him, so scheme against me altogether, then give me no respite. Surely I put my trust in Allah, my Lord and your Lord. There is no living creature, but he grasps it by its forelock. Surely my Lord is on the right path. But if you turn away, then indeed I have delivered to you that with which I am sent to you. And my Lord will bring another people in your place, and you cannot do him any harm. Surely my Lord is the preserver of all things. And when our commandment came to pass, we delivered Hud and those who believed with him with mercy from us, and we delivered them from a hard chastisement. And such were Ad. They denied the messages of their Lord and disobeyed his messengers and followed the bidding of every insolent opposer of truth. And they were overtaken by a curse in this world. And on the day of resurrection, now surely Ad disbelieved in their Lord. Now surely away with Ad, the people of Hud.
Sister Ebony?
Assalamu alaikum.
Next now.
Section 6, History of Salih. And to Thamud we sent their brother Salih. He said, O my people, serve Allah. You have no God other than him. He brought you forth from the earth and made you dwell in it. So ask forgiveness of him, then turn to him. Surely my Lord is nigh, answering. They said, O Salih, thou wast among us as a center of our hopes before this. Dost thou forbid us to worship what our fathers worshipped? And surely we are in a grave doubt about that to which thou callest us. He said, O my people, see you if I have clear proof from thy Lord, and he has granted me mercy from himself. Who will help me against Allah if I disobey him? So you would add to me not, but perdition. And O my people, this is Allah's she-camel, a sign for you. So leave her to pasture on Allah's earth and touch her not with evil, lest a near chastisement overtake you. But they hamstrung her. So he said, enjoy yourselves in your houses for 3 days. That is a promise not to be bellied. So when our commandment come to pass, we saved Salih and those who disbelieved with him by mercy from us, from the disgrace of that day. Surely thy Lord, he is the strong, the mighty. And the cry overtook those who did wrong. So they were motionless, bodies in their abodes, as though they had never dwelt therein. Now surely Thamud disbelieved in their Lord. So away with Thamud. Section 7, Abraham and Lot. And certainly our messengers came to Abraham with good news. They said, peace, peace, said he. And he made no delay in bringing a roasted calf. But when he saw that their hands reached not to it, he mistrusted them and conceived fear of them. They said, fear not, we have been sent to Lot's people. And his wife was standing by, so she wondered. Then we gave her the good news of Isaac, and beyond Isaac of Jacob. She said, O wonder, shall I bear a son when I am an extremely old woman, and this my husband an extremely old man? This is a wonderful thing indeed. They said, wonderest thou at Allah's commandment? The mercy of Allah and his blessings on you, O people of the house. Surely he is praised, glorious. So when fear departed from Abraham and good news came to him, he began to plead with us for Lot's people. Surely Abraham was forbearing, tender-hearted, oft returning to Allah. O Abraham, cease from this. Surely a decree of thy Lord has gone forth, and there must come to them a chastisement that cannot be averted. And when our messengers came to Lot, he was grieved for them, and he was unable to protect them, and said, this is a distressful day. And his people came to him, as if driven on towards him, and they were used to the doing of evil deeds before. He said, O my people, these are my daughters, they are pure for you. So guard against the punishment of Allah. Guard against the punishment of Allah and disgrace me not about my guests. Is there not among you any right-minded man? They said, Certainly thou knowest that we have no claim on thy daughters, and thou knowest what we desire. He said, Would that I had the power to repel you. Rather, I shall have recourse to a strong support. They said, O Lot, are we the messengers of thy Lord? They shall not reach thee. So travel with thy people for a part of the night, and let none of you turn back, except thy wife. Surely whatsoever befalls them shall befall her. Surely their appointed time Surely their appointed time is the morning. Is not the morning nigh? So when our decree came to pass, we turned them upside down and rained on them stones as decreed, one after another, marked for punishment with thy Lord, and it is not far off from the wrongdoers. Section 8. History of Shu'aib. And to Midian we sent their brother Shu'aib. He said, O my people, serve Allah and have no other God save him, and give not short measure and wait. And I see you in prosperity, and I fear for you the chastisement of an all-encompassing day. And O my people, give full measure and wait justly, and defraud not men of their things, and act not corruptly in the land, making mischief. What remains with Allah is better for you, if you are believers. And I am not a keeper over you. They said, O Shu'aib, does thy prayer enjoin thee that we should forsake what our fathers worshipped, or that we should not do what we please with regard to our property? Forsooth, thou art the forbearing and the right directing one. He said, O my people, see you if I have clear proof from my Lord, and he has given me a godly sustenance from himself. And I desire not to act in opposition to you. In that which I forbid you, I desire nothing but reform, so far as I am able. And with none but Allah is the direction of my affair to the right issue. In him I trust, and in him I turn. And O my people, let not opposition to me make you guilty, so that there may befall you the like of that which befell the people of Noah, or the people of Hud, or the people of Salih, nor are the people of Lot far off from you. And ask forgiveness of your Lord, and then turn to him. Surely my Lord is merciful, loving, kind. They said, O Shu'aib, we understand not much of what thou sayest, and surely we see thee to be weak among us. And were it not for thy family, we would surely stone thee, and thou art not mighty against us. He said, O my people, is my family more esteemed by you than Allah? And you neglected him as a thing cast behind your backs? Surely my Lord encompasses what you do. And O my people, acting according to your ability, I too am acting. You will come to know soon who it is on whom will light the punishment that will disgrace him, and who it is that is a liar. And watch, surely I too am watching you. And when our decree came to pass, we delivered Shu'aib and those who believed with him by mercy from us. And the cry overtook those who were iniquitous, so they were motionless bodies in their abodes, as though they had never dwelt in them. So away with the Midian, just as Thamud perished.
Thank you.
Keep going.
Brother Khalil.
Section 9, the iniquitous and the righteous. And certainly we sent Moses with our signs and a clear authority to Pharaoh and his chiefs, but they followed the bidding of Pharaoh, and Pharaoh's bidding was not right directing. He will lead his people on the day of resurrection and bring them down to the fire, and evil the place to which they are brought. And they are overtaken by a curse in this world, and on the day of resurrection, evil the gift which shall be given. This is an account of the towns which we relate to thee. Of them are some that stand and others mound down. And we wronged them not, but they wronged themselves. And their gods whom they called upon besides Allah availed them not when they decree of their Lord came to pass. And they added to them naught but ruin. And such is the punishment of thy Lord, when he punishes the towns while they are iniquitous. Surely his punishment is painful, severe. Surely there is a sign in this for him who fears the chastisement of the hereafter. That is a day on which people will be gathered together, and that is a day to be witnessed. And we delay it not but for an appointed term. On the day when it comes, no soul will speak except by his permission. So some of them will be unhappy and others happy. Then as for those who are unhappy, they will be in the fire. For them therein will be sighing and groaning, abiding therein so long as the heavens and the earth endure, except as thy Lord please. Surely thy Lord is doer of what he intends. And as for those who are made happy, they will be in a garden abiding therein so long as the heavens and the earth endure, except as thy Lord please, a gift never to be cut off. So be not thou in doubt as to that which these worship. They worship only as their fathers worshiped before, and surely we shall pay them in full their due undiminished. Section 10, believers comforted. Believers comforted. Comfort, tripping. Believers comforted. And we certainly gave the book to Moses, but differences arose therein. And had not a word gone forth from thy Lord, the matter would have been decided between them. And they are surely in a disquieting doubt about it. And thy Lord will surely pay back to all their deeds in full. He indeed is aware of what they do. Continue then in the right way as thou art commanded, as also should those who turn to Allah with thee. And be not inordinate, O men, surely he is seer of what you do. And incline not to those who do wrong, lest the fire touch you, and you have no protectors besides Allah. Then you would not be helped. And keep up prayer at the two ends of the day and in the first hours of the night. Surely good deeds take away evil deeds. This is a reminder for the mindful. And be patient, for surely Allah wastes not the reward of the doers of good. Why were there not then among the generations before you those possessing understanding, forbidding mischief in the earth, except a few among them whom we delivered? And the unjust pursued the enjoyment of plenty, and they were guilty. And thy Lord would not destroy the towns unjustly while their people acted well. And if thy Lord had pleased, he would have made people a single nation, and they ceased not to differ, except those on whom thy Lord has mercy. And for this did he create them. And the word of thy Lord is fulfilled. I shall fill hell with jinn and men altogether. And all we relate to thee of the account of the messengers is to strengthen thy heart therewith. And in this has come to thee the truth and an admonition and a reminder for the believers. And say to those who believe not, acting according to your power, surely we too are acting. And wait, surely we are waiting also. And Allah's is the unseen in the heavens and the earth, and to him the whole affair will be returned. So serve him and put thy trust in him, and thy Lord is not heedless of what you do.
Sister Kenyatta?
Assalamualaikum. Chapter 12, Joseph. Section 1, Joseph's Vision. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. I, Allah, am the seer. These are the verses of the book that makes manifest. Surely we have revealed it, an Arabic Quran, that you may understand. We narrate to thee the best of narratives, and in that we have revealed to thee this Quran, though before this thou wast of those unaware. When Joseph said to his father, O my father, I saw 11 stars and the sun and the moon. I saw them making obeisance to me. He said, O my son, relate not thy dream to thy brethren, lest they devise a plan against thee. The devil indeed is an open enemy to man, and thus will thy Lord choose thee and teach thee the interpretation of sayings, and make his favor complete to thee, and to the children of Jacob, as he made it complete before to thy fathers Abraham and Isaac. Surely thy Lord is knowing, wise. Section 2. Plot against Joseph by his brothers. Verily, in Joseph and his brethren, there are signs for the inquirers. When they said, Certainly Joseph and his brother are dearer to our father than we, though we are a strong company. Surely our father is in manifest error. Slay Joseph or banish him to some other land, so that your father's regard may be exclusively for you, and after that you may be a righteous people. A speaker among them said, Slay not Joseph, but if you are going to do anything, cast him down to the bottom of the well. Some of the travelers may pick him up. They said, O our father, why dost thou not trust us with Joseph? And surely we are his sincere well-wishers. Send him with us tomorrow, that he may enjoy himself and play, and we shall surely guard him well. He said, Indeed, it grieves me that you should take him away, and I fear lest the wolf devour him while you are heedless of him. They said, If the wolf should devour him while we are a strong company, we should then certainly be losers. So when they took him away and agreed to put him down at the bottom of the pit, we revealed to him, Thou wilt certainly inform them of this affair of theirs while they perceive not. And they came to their father at nightfall weeping. They said, O our father, we went off racing one with another and left Joseph by our goods. So the wolf devoured him. And thou wilt not believe us, though we are truthful. And they came with false blood on his shirt. He said, Nay, your souls have made a matter light for you. So patience is goodly, and Allah is he whose help is sought against what you describe. And there came travelers, and they sent their water drawer, and he let down his bucket. He said, Oh, good news. This is a youth. And they concealed him as an article of merchandise, and Allah was cognizant of what they did. And they sold him for a small price, a few pieces of silver, and they showed no desire for him.
Jamel?
Assalamu alaikum, Ramadan Mubarak. Section 3, Joseph's firmness under temptation. And the Egyptian who brought him said to his wife, make his stay honorable. Maybe he will be useful to us, or we may adopt him as a son. And thus we established Joseph in the land, and that we might teach him the interpretation of sayings. And Allah has full control over his affair, but most people know not. And when he attained his maturity, we gave him wisdom and knowledge. And thus do we reward the doers of good. And she in whose and she in whose house he was sought to seduce him, and made fast the doors and said, come. He said, Allah forbid. Surely my Lord made good my abode. The wrongdoers never prosper. And certainly she desired him, and he would have desired her, were it not that he has seen the manifest evidence of his Lord. Thus it was that we might turn away from him evil and indecency. Surely he was one of our chosen servants. And they raced with one another to the door, and she rent his shirt from behind, and they met her husband at the door. She said, what is the punishment for one who intends evil to thy wife, except imprisonment or painful chastisement? He said, she sought to seduce me, and the witness of her own family bore witness. If his shirt is rent in front, she speaks the truth, and he is of the liars. And if his shirt is rent behind, she tells a lie, and he is of the truthful. So when he saw his shirt rent behind, he said, surely it is a device of you women. Your device is indeed great. O Joseph, turn aside from this, and O my wife, ask forgiveness for thy sin. Surely thou art one of the sinful. Section 4. Joseph is in prison. And women in the city said, the chief's wife seeks to seduce her slave. He has indeed affected her deeply with his love. Truly we see her in manifest error. So when she heard of their device, she sent for them and prepared for them a repast, and gave each of them a knife, and said to Joseph, come out to them. So when they saw him, they deemed him great, and cut their hands in amazement, and said, Holy Allah, this is not a mortal, this is but a noble angel. She said, this is he about whom you blame me, and certainly I sought to seduce him, but he was firm in contentance. And if he do not what I bid him, he shall certainly be in prison, and he shall certainly be of the abject. He said, my Lord, the prison is dearer to me than that to which they invite me. And if thou turn not away their device from me, I shall yearn towards them and be of the ignorant. So his Lord accepted his prayer and turned away their device from him. Surely he is the hearer, the knower. Then it occurred to them after they had seen the signs that they should imprison him till a time.
Brother Javar.
Section 5. Joseph preaching in the prison. And two youths entered the prison with him. One of them said, I saw myself pressing wine. And the other said, I saw myself carrying bread on my head, of which birds were eating. Inform us of its interpretation. Surely we see thee to be of the doers of good. He said, the food with which you are fed shall not come to you, but I shall inform you of his interpretation before it comes to you. This is of what my Lord has taught me. Surely I have forsaken the religion of the people who believe not in Allah and are deniers of the hereafter. And I follow the religion of my fathers, Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. It beseems us not to associate aught with Allah. This is by Allah's grace upon us and on mankind. But most people give not thanks. O my two fellow prisoners, are sundry lords better or Allah the one, the supreme? You serve not besides him, but names which you have named, you and your fathers. Allah has set down no authority for them. Judgment is only Allah's. He has commanded that you serve none but him. This is the right religion, but most people know not. O my two fellow prisoners, as for one of you, He will serve wine for his Lord to drink. And as for the other, he will be crucified, so that the birds will eat from his head. The matter is decreed concerning which you inquired. And he said to him, whom he knew would be delivered of the two, remember me with thy Lord. But the devil caused him to forget, mention it to his Lord. So he remained in the prison a few years. Section 6, the king's vision interpreted by Joseph. And the king said, I have seen 7 fat kine, which 7 lean ones devoured, and 7 green ears, and 7 others dry. O chief, explain to me my dream, if you can interpret the dream. They said, confused dreams, and we know not the interpretation of dreams. And of the two, he who had found deliverance and remembered after a long time said, I will inform you of his interpretation, so send me. Joseph, O truthful one, explain to us 7 fat kine, which 7 lean ones devoured, and 7 green ears, and 7 others dry, that I may go back to the people so that they may know. He said, you shall sow for 7 years as usual. Then that which you reap, leave it in its ear, except a little which you eat. Then after that will come 7 years of hardship, which will eat away all you have beforehand stored for them, except a little which you have preserved. Then after that will come a year in which people will have rain and in which they will press grapes.
You can go ahead and finish.
Section 7, Joseph cleared the charges. And the king said, bring him to me. So when the messenger came to him, he said, go back to thy lord and ask him, what is the case of the woman who cut their hands? Surely my lord knows their device. The king said, what was your affair when you sought to seduce Joseph? They said, Holy Allah, we knew of no evil on his part. The chief wife said, now has the truth become manifest. I sought to seduce him, and he is surely of the truthful. This is that he might know that I have not been unfaithful to him in secret, and that Allah guides not the device of the unfaithful.
Praise be to Allah. That is part number 12. Anybody have anything that they would like to share that stood out to them? Go ahead and press number 1 at this time. Go ahead and press number 1 at this time. If anything that we read today stood out to you. Start with Brother Jamil. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Hold on. Brother Remus.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
The last, let's see, it was, pull it up. Right there towards the end, start with 43, section 6, page, what is that? Well, yeah. Section 6 in Yusuf, chapter 12, the king's vision interpreted by Joseph. And the king said, I've seen 7 fat kine, which 7 lean ones devoured, and 7 green ears, and 7 others dry. O chiefs, explain to me my dream, if you can interpret a dream. So, and then it went on to 46 where it says, oh, Joseph, truthful one, explain to us the 7 fat kine. So what I got from this part was how Allah imprisoned Joseph in the story. We'll call him a righteous one. And his whole journey where he's imprisoned, his brothers did him wrong, they was envious, jealous, foretold, and his father kind of knew what was coming down the pike, what was going on. And what I took from that is our brothers and sisters that are in prison and the wisdom that us so-called Negroes, black folks, provide for the king, white folks, presidents, corporations in the belly of this beast called America. How much good we do as black folks for white folks. And we be having insight, we have wisdom, we have knowledge, we share all kinds of wisdom, and even through these rap songs, we see things, we understand, and we we can spot the game and we can spit some truth, and we give all kind of advice and others benefit in just how Allah uses Joseph in this case, but uses us as a people to make the kings and make the land better, America better, wherever we are, really probably in England and a lot of places. We make it better for white folks, and these are those that are in leadership. And Allah has a reason for that. And we get blessings from doing that good. And eventually, I don't want to spoil the story, but as as tomorrow and as the readings of this story continue, um, how eventually we are restored back to our Father, and how um, we do all this good, and it may seem like in the act of doing it, imprisoned or whatever, we shackled in our own way, um, but Allah's watching, and we still get our blessings in the end. That's what I took from that.
Let's go to Brother Jamil.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
I just a few things that stuck out to me, but I'm just gonna go to Surah 11, where it speaks about Allah sending different messengers and prophets to the people, and the people not wanting to accept the message coming from that particular messenger or prophet. You know, it reminds me of the way I used to think. You know, this is my very first Ramadan out here in the free world. You know, I've just been released from doing 18 years in the federal penitentiary. I'm also one of the brothers that was in the graduating class in this year's Savior's Day, which was my very first Savior's Day ever. It was very emotional for me. It was a experience that I will never, ever, ever, ever forget. And I'm so thankful to Allah for blessing me to be able to attend. You know, I didn't know how I was going to make it. I just stepped out on pure faith, and I was able to make the trip. And it was a surreal experience. And, you know, I was one of the brothers that, before I came into the teachings, that rejected everything coming from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And it's, you know, it's obviously due to my ignorance at the time. And I'm grateful to Allah to touch my heart and allow me to give this man a chance to listen to what he has to say, go back and study it. And once I did that, I was convinced that this man is teaching the absolute truth. And I'll close with this. You know, I'm not very tech savvy or anything to that magnitude. I'm still learning the technology. I get lost a lot, but I just want to say to Brother Ben X, I'm thankful to Allah for using you as a vessel to create this platform for us to be able to come on and read. I'm learning so much just reading with the believers here, and I'm understanding more and more what true family is. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. All praise is due to Allah. One of the things that stood out to me was Joseph. And Joseph being innocent, being accused, even being imprisoned. So to me, that is a sign that you being innocent, doing the right thing, does not make you exempt from trial, does not make you exempt from things. God doesn't protect you from trial or things happening, but it is how we utilize the tools, the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding that we have that gets us through whatever the trial is. And we see here that Joseph was then vindicated, but he, there was no mystery protection. Well, no, he can't go to prison because he ain't did nothing. No, we're going to go through things. We may suffer through things, but it is our faith in Allah God. It is the tools, the knowledge, and the wisdom that we have that can just get us over anything. That's the blessing. That's where the peace comes from. Peace it's not going to necessarily come from once I believe in God, after I submit, things are going to stop happening in my life. That's not how it works. Things are going to continue to happen. But it's our attitude and how we see it that makes us one of the successful ones or those who fall under trial. So that was one of the things that stood out for me. Up next, we have nope, Brother John.
Yes, sir, Brother Ben. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum to the family. I'm right on point with my dear brother Jamel. Brother, may Allah bless you, Jamel, in your journey in Islam. May Allah bless you to be one of the top soldiers in our nation for years to come, brother. I pray that you plant your flag in the nation of Islam and bloom where you're planted, brother. We love you, and we all pulling for you, my dear brother. Brother Ben, what stood out to me in this, as Brother Jamel mentioned, it stood out for me too, the repetitiveness of Surah 11 and all of the prophets of God and how they all came to their people with admonishment of righteousness and the different excuses that their people gave them in terms of not following them. One particular that stood out for me is chapter 11, verse 88, when Brother Shu'aib is saying, "Oh, my people," verse 88, "see you if I have a clear proof from my Lord, and he has given me a goodly sustenance from himself, and I desire not to act in opposition to you in that which I forbid you. I desire nothing but reform so far as I am able, and none but Allah is the direction of my affair to a right issue. In him I trust, and to him I return." That reminds me of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. As my brother Jamel said, there's so many of our people, partly due to our own self-hatred, we find a reason to disagree with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We find a reason to disagree with those who follow him. They may believe in 99% of what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was taught by God and given to the minister and to us. And with that one, they take it and run with it. And I share with other brothers, well, what do you agree with 100% in anything? And so that is a challenge for the followers of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan because we represent him. And the fear of the prophets, as well as the minister's fear, and is my concern, is verse 89. When the minister says, this verse, it's okay to disagree, but this verse is key, 89. "And O my people, let not opposition to me make you guilty, so that there may befall you the like of that which befell the people of Noah, or the people of Hud, or the people of Salih, nor the people of Lot, far off from you." So in other words, be careful how you come at the minister. Be careful how you come at us. Disagreeing is okay, but you might become an outright opponent and face the chastisement of God. Thank you, family. Assalamu alaikum.
Islam. Praise be to Allah. Is it Damali?
It is Damali. Assalamu alaikum, family.
Islam.
I'm very, very new here, and I was invited by Sister Ebony. So thank you, Sister, for inviting me. What I took away from the readings that I was able to hear today, what stood out to me was the importance of having a personal relationship and keeping God central in one's life. And that shone out to me in the part that was read about Joseph being accused. And when the woman's husband came home, the discernment that he used in assessing the situation was one thing. And then also his strength in resisting temptation. And those two things, though a bit different, to me, they show the same message where number one, for strength, and I speak personally because the more I live these things, the more I experience it, and I know it to be true. In the face of temptation, and when you're presented with things that you know intimately that you shouldn't probably engage in, or things that aren't necessarily of your highest self, when you call for strength, strength is given. And it's like a muscle. The more you use it, the more you exercise it, the stronger it gets, until not to the point that you're never tempted, but when the temptations come, it's child's play, for want of a better terminology, to really just sink into that place or ascend to that place where you just know that these worldly things, it's really not, it's not your calling to proceed with. So that was thing number one, with the strength. And then the discernment, especially in emotional matters, it's quite easy. And in my youth and ignorance, I, in a situation like that or any other, know that my approach and my response would be definitely different. But the more you commune with God, I've found, and the more you ask for it, because that's something that's very important, I would say to always pray for, and I always pray for discernment. Being presented with that information, it would be easy to exert the harshest punishment on the accused. But with that connection to the divine, to Allah, to God, when you ask for discernment, because you realize that everything is not always as it seems, and that deceit and deception can come in many forms, that discernment and that discerning spirit will save both yourself and others from untoward situations. And that's one of the main things that stood out to me, and those were the messages that I got from it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Sister Tamiko?
Yes, sir. So when I read the Holy Quran, or when we read the Holy Quran, it is Allah speaking to the Prophet. But the Honorable Minister Farrakhan teaches us that it's Allah speaking to us, because we are also a little messenger, or striving in our role to become a messenger of God. So, when I read about Noah's son, he was one of those that Allah had sent amongst the prophets, and his trial was his son. And in 1142, it talks about how his son said that he was going to betake himself to the mountain when Noah had taught him, or when Noah had taught the people, including his family, that none would be saved from the flood. And his son was taken away in the flood, and it affected Noah. And Noah pleaded with Allah to, save his son. And Allah said, no, he is an embodiment of unrighteous conduct. And for me, this touches me now that I have adult children, and they are now making their own choices. They're making their own decisions, and this is what we experience as parents when we have adult children, and they move throughout their lives, and they make their own choices, and we wonder, what will they do when the flood comes, or when the time comes to where we have to make the decision? Will they choose the God that I serve? Will they choose the life, the religion, that I practice? And this is It's especially true for regardless of whether we're in Christianity. It doesn't matter what religion. The parent always wants the children to accept what they follow. However, in this case, I would like for it to be, Islam. But that was one of the things that stuck out to me um, as it pertains to my children. And, from the story about Noah's son. Another thing that stuck out to me was about Joseph and how his father saw his greatness and his family was jealous. And that also is a lesson to me as a believer in the Nation of Islam and how Joseph's divinity, his beauty, the beauty of his righteousness was something that was very attractive to his brothers and to, of course, the women. They saw God on him, just like Joseph's father saw God on him. And it is true with us. It's true with those of us who have been called uh, as believers in the Nation of Islam. We also have there's also something on us. We have a calling. We have the beauty of the righteousness. We have the beauty of our diet, how to eat to live, clears us or makes us healthy or makes us appear beautiful to the people. So Joseph he's kind of like a sign. He's kind of a prototype.
Assalamu alaikum, Sister Tamiko. The timer was up. I just don't want to mute you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll just go ahead and end there. Thank you. Assalamu
Praise be to Allah. We will be in it at 7:30 today. I know we got quite a queue. We will be in it at 7:30 today, Central Time, of course. I know some of y'all Eastern. Up next, we have Brother King Cam.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
So few things that stood out to me. First, salute to Brother John. Man, beautiful insights, brother. Appreciate that feedback, black man. So two takeaways that I have from this aspect, from this part of Joseph. And Joseph is probably one of my favorite histories, stories in the Bible and in the Holy Quran. The first thing is Sister Tomiko was just hitting on it, the mindset of the family. Joseph brothers, you know, plotted against him, and it was because they wanted to have Jacob's love exclusively for them. They wanted to take the love that he had for Joseph and have it exclusively for them, and that led to treachery of their own family. So to me, that is a lesson for us that we don't allow our emotions to cause us to become treacherous. Allow our emotions to cause us to do things that divide the family, even if it's not your blood family, but even the family of the believers. Because some of us, because we want exclusive love from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we will do certain things to other believers that will cause us to become treacherous and to do things that are not becoming of a Muslim and not becoming of a brother or a sister to your own fellow brothers and sisters. So that was one thing that stood out to me. And the second thing was Brother Ben was hitting on it earlier about how Joseph was accused, how Joseph was imprisoned, how Joseph was falsely charged, and his vindication came later. So to me, what that says was the accused don't mean guilty. Joseph was accused, but he wasn't guilty. Joseph was falsely imprisoned, but he wasn't guilty. He was innocent the whole time. So what I think about is that we have to be careful how we judge those who have been accused and or imprisoned, because we see a lot of our influential individuals who are imprisoned or who have been imprisoned and have been charged of certain things. We know of our own family members, not even people of influence, who have been in prison. and who have went to jail for things that they haven't done. So sometimes Allah has use of you in places that we think not. So sometimes Allah will allow you.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother King Cam. I don't want to mute you.
Okay, well, okay, all right. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and
Praise be to Allah. Let's see here. Brother Jamil. Did you go already, Brother Jamil?
Yes, I did. So, I just put another number one and make another comment, but you can get somebody else if you like.
Okay, yeah. I'm because we do have a cutoff time, we're gonna go with those who didn't. And if we have time,
Yes,
we'll
sir.
come back around to those who already spoke. So let's go to brother Daniel.
Praise be to-
No, sir, Brother Ben. It will be Sister Kenyatta.
I think Sister Kenyatta went already. Oh, did you go? I'm sorry. Did you go, Sister Kenyatta? Did you get feedback already?
No, I didn't go yet.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
Okay, that's okay. So I'm going to go really quickly. I first want to say how it's just so important that when you're reading the Quran, like for me, because sometimes the Quran can be confusing, and when I'm reading, sometimes the words, they can get a little confusing. So I think it's so important when we're giving this feedback, and then also when Brother Ben said yesterday to go back and reread things, because sometimes you can miss things. And so anyway, the one thing that really stuck out for me as I was listening to everyone give their feedback, and I had to go back and like really see what the purpose of this chapter was when we're talking about Joseph. And so I think not only reading the footnotes is important, but also reading that very first opening part when it talks about kind of the breakdown of the chapter. And when I looked at the chapter 12 and really looking at the breakdown of the chapter, and it talks about this chapter, it deals with um, three kinds of vision. So it talks about the vision of the prophet Joseph. It talks about the vision of a king, and it talks about the visions of ordinary men. And a lot of times when I'm reading the Quran, I really need to see how it applies to me. Because sometimes as Bible, it can kind of sound like a story. And it is a story, but I need to see how it applies to my life, right? Um, and so when I think about that, the one thing that stuck out to me in the beginning is when it says, the grander the purpose, the longer the vision takes for its due fulfillment. And so when I think about that and I think about trial and I think about struggle, it talks about three visions: the vision of Joseph, the vision of the king, and the vision of ordinary men. And when it when we talk about the time it took and what they had to go through, and Joseph had to go through a longer period of time of struggle as the king and compared to the ordinary man. And sometimes when we're going through struggles in life and we're dealing with things in life, we concentrate more on the time than what we're supposed to be gaining from what we're going through. And I know myself, sometimes I've been facing a lot of things lately and just period in life. And sometimes I get caught up in the time and I miss what I'm supposed to be learning from it. So I'm going to stop there because I know time is going. But I think it's definitely very important that we really dig into these things and we really go back, read the footnotes, read the openings, and think about how it applies to life, not just seeing it for surface what it is. It's much deeper than that. So anyway, I'll end there. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Great points. Great points. Let's go to Brother Daniel. Going once. Going twice. All right, this is Tornisa. Going once.
Assalamu alaikum. I was looking at the different, how Allah sent different messages to our people, yet they did not believe. And I look at us as being messages. We can't look at this as just as if it's not us. We too are sent to different people and then they don't take the messages. But we got the blood off our hands. But you see the other people, especially with Lot, how they got persecuted because they did not listen. And that's some of our people. So I applaud the brother that came in the nation and he said he wasn't listening. I too was the same way, because I've heard, oh, the minister this and that other. So when it came to the Million Man March, I helped because the other one, the Million More Movement, I helped. But the one prior to that, I didn't go because my whole thing was with the women and all this other stuff. I didn't believe in the minister and his teaching just because someone said these different things. So that was one point I'm saying to us, that we are to listen, to hear the man of God, and he would help us to save our lives. The other one was the plot against Joseph. And I looked at that really deeply because I thought about my daughter and how we are to protect our children. And sometimes we see things in the children that no one else see. And someone might think that, oh, you're favoring one child versus the other. It's just that that's not the case all the time. Sometimes you see a good in that other child and something different within the other child. But the children might say, oh, you like me more, blah, blah, blah. And it's not necessarily the case. It's just that you do this and I do that and you do this. And you make sure you protect your children. And so what was the plot? Look at the plot for modern day time now. People plot against your children. The internet is a plot. And these children are being taken, they're being raped, they're being molested. And then what happens? You have children in school that plots against another child, and that child got taken. The parents didn't see their child for 2, 3 years. By the time they got their child, that child was raped. She was with child, and they found her in the Bronx. But this is that's what's going on today. They're taking our babies, they kidnapping our children. So you gotta be careful who your children talk to. Talia was in the park yesterday. I said, no, you're not calling this other individual. I don't know who this person is. I don't know their parents. Don't get the Gmail from them. You're not playing no games with them. So I just wanted to say that we got to be very careful of protecting our children so that they won't be plotted against and then we won't see them again. Assalamu alaikum.
Like salam. Thank you for sharing. Brother Daniel, try again. Yeah, look like something wrong with your audio. I see you came off mute, but nothing's coming out. All right, let's go to Brother Remus. Has not went yet.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Like salam.
When Sister Tamika spoke, it triggered some thoughts when she was talking about her children and wanting the best for our children, and then the prayer that we pray every day about, oh Allah, in essence, please grant our children the spirit to pray, in essence, and grant them, remind them to pray and keep them, this prayer to help fully our children to make decisions that will be pleasing to Allah. And I thought about how to minister like a father to all of us, to so many on this planet right now, and how any of us, even my brother Jamil, all of us, that, we all had a day one, and we all didn't have a story like brothers. And I pray that a brother, like many people spoke on how his story prayerfully, can really be known. I would say that, and and the stories of what I know, those experiences from a lot of brothers I know that have done time, the experiences that there's a yearning to want to let people know what life is really like in there. So hopefully those words will get out, how other brothers can persevere, whether they're in the pen or not, and sisters too. But the idea that we're all parents, I put in the chat because even Brother Jamil, for example, brand new, if you will, congratulations again, and I can imagine the emotions. But now we're teachers, as we're still learning. We're teachers also, and we want our people to embrace this truth. And we want, like the minister said, I think it was a couple of readings ago, it came out that the minister wanted, or the Most High Elijah Muhammad, they were idolaters or hypocrites or whatever, and then they came around, and it was this spirit he had was good. They finally are in alignment. They finally are doing the right thing. I'm just paraphrasing, but this idea that only Allah can turn someone's heart. And hopefully we try our best more and more to instill in others, our own children or other people that are watching, the right principles, the right ideas, because getting people to understand lessons so they don't have to go out in life and understand the lessons, quote unquote, the hard way. But, and the minister said, fear. I was looking at a speech the minister gave. I was looking at it yesterday. It came across my feed. But where he was talking about fear, the children, when they fear you, he was saying it's a good thing. It was this idea, and it's not fear in the sense of like, but it's the idea of do the right thing, fearful of the consequences of doing the wrong thing. Getting our youth today to understand that without them totally rebelling and, oh, you hate me, and oh, you know, and it's like, no, I want you to brush your teeth. You know what I'm saying? It ain't, oh, you persecuted me. I'm trying to watch this video game. No, no, you need to wash your hands before we eat. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I see sometimes where we really have to struggle with, well, I don't want to upset them. And then now they just get the mindset they can do whatever they want to do. And they're going to bump into something that's going to make them understand that we all got to submit our will to Allah's will.
Brother Dan, you want to try again? All right, let's go to Sister Brianna.
Thank you kindly. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Something that came up, I was getting ready for work, so I don't know the exact scripture, but a few people have commented on having the discipline to pretty much get over the flesh. Even this morning, I'm about to take my drive. It takes about 40 minutes to go where I'm going. And even though it's Ramadan, habits sometimes die slow because so much in me wants to go and grab a coffee, and it's like, I don't even need it. I have so much energy right now. And How to Eat to Live, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, the last trial we will have is the fire of temptation. So when it comes, it doesn't mean that we're weak or that we haven't been working. It's that is the last trial, and it's going to come repeatedly because it's the last trial. But just stay on our deen, stay on to what we know is right. The minister says, paraphrasing, that Allah has to bring out of you, or you have to go through things He knows how to use you. Not how to use you, but sometimes things have to come out of us so it can actually just be released, right? Not just because we haven't learned the lesson, etc. Now this is just me talking. But sometimes things have to come out for the last stage of it. So just having grace with ourselves and knowing that every time we win against the flesh, that Allah can raise us by degrees. We just have to win against it and tell us that, no, I am stronger than you, flesh, because the flesh is weak and we give into it, you know? Man, there's something else I wanted to say, but it escaped me. So if anything, tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam. Brother Khalil.
Salam alaikum. I thought what you played earlier, beloved, was profound by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He said, there is no Arab that will be able to raise the black man and woman here in the wilderness of North America. And I know some Arabs may get ruffled by that, but the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is pulling that straight from the Holy Quran, because we learned today the pattern of God when he sends his messengers and all those stories of all the prophets coming to the people. You see a pattern where the messenger or the warner is raised from their own people. And so the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is pulling it straight from the Quran that we here in America, black men and black women, we should expect the exact same thing, that messenger and that prophet or that warner will come from out of our own people. That's all I saw, brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Brother Key already said never mind. Brother Jamil.
Oh, yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum, family. Just real quick, I just want to follow up on what everybody was speaking on Joseph being in prison. Um, I had put in the chat that I'm now working to try to create a platform to bring some awareness to some of the injustices that's being done inside the prison system, whether it's state or federal. There's so much that I've suffered in prison trying to push the program of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad under the leadership of Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You know, I've done an incredible amount of time in solitary confinement because of it. Some of it to my own doing, you know, not properly representing the teachings and having a go hard kind of mentality, which is, we don't want to kind of be doing that. That's not what the minister teaches. And there's plenty of times where I try to reach out and get letters out to the prison reform ministry. Those letters were destroyed, and it was hard to make communication. So there's things that has to be made aware of what's going on inside these prison walls. I will also want to thank all the brothers and sisters that is giving me encouragement. This is family, man. I'm learning more and more what family is. And I don't think much of myself. I kind of got that from the minister. I try to remain in a humble spirit. When I was in Chicago, the Saviors Day, and we was at the FOI class, and they were giving out awards for the Final Call newspaper. And man, they called my name, for averaging 100 final calls a week. And I thought it was a mistake. I said, well, I think they got to be talking about another Jamel from Muhammad Mosque number 66. But, strangely enough, I'm the only Jamel X did. So it was I'm still at a high right now for that feeling. And when I stood outside looking at Muhammad's University of Islam and Mosque Mariam, it really felt, deep within inside me, it felt like I was in heaven, man. So, I'm grateful and I'm thankful to everybody for, showing that family love, man. And I'm grateful to Allah for it. So thank you, everybody. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Brother Lakil, you had something that you want to go? Lakil, I thought he said that he was good or something. Well, let me if he's no longer present, I want to play this clip really quick from the minister, if y'all don't mind.
You all are worth so much more than you think. And when you dress up, you look so beautiful. And be that way. Be beautiful. Be kind and loving to one another. It ain't that hard. Just look for God. And that's who I look for. And I have not missed him in not one black brother that I have loved. I found God in that person.
So one thing I want to emphasize is this. We should all be humble because we should all walk the earth in humility. But let's add some balance here. The minister also said this: thinking too little of yourself is just as bad a sin as thinking too much of yourself. Ooh, let me read that one. Read that again. He said, thinking too little of yourself is just as bad as a sin as thinking too much of yourself. So as we strive to be humble, as we strive to be modest, as we strive not to be arrogant, let's not think too little of ourselves either. As we accept our own and be ourselves and we submit, when we submit in our submission, they're looking at Allah because I'm submitting to Him. This is why Jesus was able to say, when you see me, you see the Father. I've been among you all this time and you ain't seen the Father, because Jesus was in submission. So the more we are in submission and we line our mind up with Him, we must also realize who we are and whose we are. Because when we think too little of ourselves, if I think too little of myself, there's things that's too big that I say, oh, I don't know if I can accomplish that. But when I embrace that I'm a God, not the supreme being to be worshiped, but I'm a little God in the classroom of God. And there's nothing average about that. When I'm accepting my own and I'm striving, when there's millions of people that gave up on striving, when there's millions of people that done gave up on themselves, not studying, not doing nothing, not submitting to nothing, you're not average. When you have accepted the hardest job given to man, not us. We gonna pick the easiest job given. You know how we was in school. We picking the easiest subject. So imagine a man saying this is the hardest job given to man, and we raise our hand and say, I'm gonna help in this cause. Shoot, boy. So no, man. Keep the humility. But remember, thinking too little of ourselves is just as bad a sin as thinking too much of ourselves. And the minister there was basically saying, you're more valuable, you're more worthy than you think you are. Why is this important? Because our subconscious thinking, our subconscious programming that we think about ourselves leads to how we feel about ourselves. And how I feel about myself leads to the actions that I take based on the beliefs that I have about myself. And then the actions that I take leads to my results. So if I want to change the fruit, I got to change the root. Some of us aren't successful in where we want to be because of the starting point, which is the mindset. So hopefully you all received that. It is 7:30. So we are going to go ahead and close out. If there's anything else that you would like to share, please do so inside of the community. Please do so inside of the community. And I thank everybody for giving their feedback. And inshallah, we'll be back on tomorrow morning for part 13. We pushing, y'all. We pushing. We making it through. We dang near having it through. We probably having it through the Quran reading. So congratulations also to all of y'all who doing this for your very first time as well. Hopefully you sticking to it, you're feeling strong, and you're going to finish this thing on out. So again, thank you all for listening. Ramadan Mubarak, and y'all have a black-tastic day. Assalamu alaikum.
Is Brother Ben here? Brother Ben. Now, Ben got a heck of a program. A lot of people listening to Brother Ben. And Ben tells them about the minister. And Ben tells them about the minister.